యునైటెడ్ స్టేట్స్ సెనేటర్ కోరీ బుకర్తో ప్రస్తుత రాజకీయ పరిస్థితులపై TV9 USA ప్రత్యేక ఇంటర్వ్యూ నిర్వహించింది. TV9 USA ప్రతినిధి శ్రియా బోపన్న హోస్ట్గా అందించిన స్పెషల్ చిట్ చాట్ ఇప్పుడు చూద్దాం.
Welcome to TV9 USA. I'm your host, Shreya Boppana, and today I am joined by the incredible United States Senator Cory Booker of New Jersey. Thank you for joining us today, Senator Booker.
I'm so excited to be with you. Thank you for having me on Channel 9.
No, oh my gosh, the pleasure is all mine. So, Senator Booker, let's touch a little bit on the fact that you were born in our great nation's capital. You were the former mayor of Newark, and you also broke history and records. First, as being the first African-American U.S. Senator of New Jersey, but second, for your recent Senate floor speech, 25 hours, 5 minutes, March 31st to April 1st, you included over 200 constituent stories, and it's what I personally consider an act of true civic protest, but I'd love to hear your motivation behind it.
Yeah, we were really frustrated that we were hearing from people all across the political spectrum who were not happy with things that our president was doing, and we wanted to really make an inclusive call towards change, to point out that the things were happening were not right. And so we pulled constituent voices, but also conservative voices, conservative think tanks, Republicans, because there's so many things from our tariff policy right now all the way to immigration policy that people just don't agree with, that violate their senses of decency. And so we felt like we needed to break through and do something different. And breaking the record that was set during the late 50s of a avowed segregationist was, I think, helped to really create the drama of that moment.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, speaking of all of these things that you were talking about that build your platform, I hope immigration policies is one of them. And as an Indian American, but more importantly, as an assimilated youth, I understand that the journey of assimilation is difficult, arduous. Do you personally still feel like the American dream exists? And how does that manifest for basically all of these immigrants, especially those from countries like India?
Well, you are a living embodiment of the American dream in many ways. Your success, you're at Duke University graduate school, you're here on a really profound news platform. So it exists, but I think we need to redeem the dream. I think we need to expand it. We are in a period right now where people are equating immigration with bad or crime or the kind of things that we do need to step up and stop. But the truth of the matter is, in the Indian community writ large, is a screaming testimony to this truth, that immigration is one of the best things that can happen for America. You see an Indian immigrant community that are leading in the sciences, in the medical world, in business, in academia, that there's so much strength in creating wide pathways of immigration. One of the crises we have right now is we've so choked the pathways towards legal immigration that we are foregoing the best brain talent, the best grit and guts that immigrants bring, and it's hurting America. And other countries are trying to benefit from us closing down doors. So I have a very strong view that we need to stop, illegal immigration on the border. We need to keep people safe, but we need to significantly expand pathways towards legal immigration because our economy needs it. The competition, the global competition for the best ideas, the best breakthroughs, the best business strength, the best entrepreneurial strength, that is only going to continue to be sourced in America if we keep wide pathways, wide flows of immigrants coming to almost revitalize, strengthen, and support the already greatness that is America.
Well, if we're talking about the strengthening in the numbers of Americans, or I guess Indian origin people,
yes,
and Indian Americans in general, that's a 3.2 million people deep body, and 2.1 million of them are voting eligible. So with, potentially a 2028 presidential campaign coming up, do you have a strategy to target those people or to have those voters on your side?
Yeah, well, look, I am where I am today because of the Indian community. The New Jersey Indian community, which is so vibrant, so strong, one of the highest percentage in any state of Indian Americans. I am here because of that community. I've been embraced and supported. I feel humbled. I've grown as a human being just from being in grade school and high school and with great Indian Americans who are from New Jersey. So I know there's only one pathway to the presidency. It's not around the Indian community, but it's with the Indian community. And any president, as I believe, we should have seen even more under Biden and more under Trump, should not only have the Indian community's support, but should have Indian leaders, Indian American leaders in their administration in significant positions.
Speaking of significant positions, I would love to know what your stance is on youth in significant positions, specifically in presidential campaigns, in White Houses, in just leadership roles across America. Do you have any plans for creating some more?
Yes. We are at a generational shifting moment. This is the sort of last moments of the baby boomer generation, the civil rights generation. It's the last baby boomer president we'll ever have, the last baby boomer head of the Senate, which we have right now. That generation is leading the stage, and X-Geners and millennials have to rise up, have to be given opportunities and pathways. And if you look at any period in American history, it's always been sort of the great change has been youth-led. From the tech boom to the civil rights movement, you're always seeing 20-somethings and 30-somethings leading the charge. And so what I'm hoping to do is be one of those leaders that helps usher in the next generation of leadership in this country. And we're different. Young people are digitally native. These technologies aren't imposed upon them. They were raised with sort of an understanding of the power of innovation, the power of technology, from the biotech sciences to quantum computing. That kind of intellect married with that kind of experience is invaluable for the future of America.
If we're talking about the future of America, and also keeping kind of with the theme of young people in America, you recently released something which was a call to the Democrats, asking them to have a digital strategy.
Yes.
You said we are online native, we need more increased awareness online. Do you see yourself as the standard for maybe where some of your other comrades or colleagues should be aiming towards?
You know, look, I'm right now one of the top 5 Democrats in all of Congress who has most followers and engagements on online platforms. I know that most people now get their news from their digital devices than from watching TV. And so I know that we have to make sure that we are forward-facing with this kind of technology. And I want to let folks know the best way to lead is by example. So I'm going to continue to try to show what I hope, not just the Democratic Party, but leaders of the future understand how to connect with voters, how to have meaningful interactions. These platforms, which have a lot of downside, but also if they're used right with authenticity and integrity, can really help to expand connection and community.
And what exactly is your message for your other Democratic peers who you feel are maybe kind of shying away from this and sticking to the traditional platforms?
I'm working very hard to get more of my colleagues to use these platforms and to engage with them in an authentic way. And so far we're having a lot of success. In just about 6 months of being responsible for the Democratic senators, I've been able to quadruple their engagement, increase their followings by the multiple millions. So I'm happy to see them embracing it, leaning in and learning, being willing to learn about how to do better communication.
Well, we are completely rooting for you, Senator Booker. Is there anything you'd like to say to the youth of America, the Indian American population or beyond?
Yes, you have no limitations. Imagine a future that can astonish this world. And I'm really hopeful. I'm excited about seeing what the next 25 years of humanity will look like. And I hope that Americans, with Indian Americans, that we can help not just lead the new future, but to shape it as well.
Well, thank you so much for your time today, Senator Booker. It was an honor speaking with you on TV9 USA.
Thank you very much.